Is Xbox collapsing or rebuilding? Because after the last few weeks, we've heard the word sunsetting floating around, leadership changes, strategy shifts, and now a new CEO openly talking about exclusives again. What? So, what is this? Quiet end of the Xbox era as we know it, or the beginning of a reset? Because when a company starts reshuffling power, redefining its identity, that's not a small effort. That's a survival mode.
I will not entertain.
Here's why this matters. Xbox has been shifting towards multi-platform, cloud-based, and subscriptions for, I don't know, it seems like forever now. And now we're hearing stronger language about exclusives under new leadership. That's a psychological pivot. If Xbox is sunsetting part of its old model, it could look like a collapse from the outside, but internally, it might be consolidation, trimming what doesn't work and doubling down on what does. So the real question isn't, is Xbox dying? It's, what version of Xbox are they trying to become in the year 2026? All right, so I just want to go on some like pivot things because a lot has dropped, with the firing of Phil Spencer, and I'm going to continue to say firing of Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond. The sunset word is very triggering for a lot of people right now that I've seen on Twitter and YouTube and everywhere else. What does that actually mean? Is it hardware? Is it services? Is it strategy? Is this downsizing or restructuring? It's kind of, sunset can mean a lot of different things. New CEO, new direction, stronger. She's talking about exclusives again. Xbox reversing its multi-platform approach. Leadership change usually signals strategic reset. Identity crisis. Listen, is this console brand? This is about Game Pass platform, publisher, ecosystem. Because I've said, hey, Microsoft and Xbox look like a fucking publisher. That kind of was the whole stint of subscription, cloud-based, play anywhere on anything. You kind of had to be a publisher in that sense. So that's kind of a shift too. And financial reality. Backed by Microsoft, owns major IPs, Activision Blizzard, still investing heavily, quote unquote. I don't think that's to be accurate or to be true. They are really looking at the pocketbooks and seeing that they overpaid for a lot of these studios. So now they're looking about ROI, return on investment, and they're seeing that they're not getting a lot of return on any of the motherfucking studios they bought, overpaid for investment. So collapse would mean maybe a retreat. This looks more like a repositioning more in my eyes personally. But Infamous, what do you think about all this stuff that this new CEO is saying and kind of putting out in the universe? And can she make good on all the things that she's talking about? Because it really would be a 360 shift, no pun intended.
No.
Wait, no?
Okay, I'm sorry. You know Infamous got to come in hard and give it to you crazy. So
God damn.
you asked me a lot. I'm gonna break it down.
Okay.
One, I don't think she knows what the fuck she's talking about. That's one, because she has gone on record saying she's trying to understand the business.
That's
even
crazy.
though you just became
Coming from the CEO.
Yeah, you're made CEO and you know nothing about the business. That's bad. But she didn't make that decision. That her superiors did. I don't believe she knows what the fuck she's talking about. I think she's hitting the major buzzwords to soften the blow of Phil's and Sarah Bond's, and I'm gonna keep it that way because I'm gonna keep it like that because you can say what you want. Oh, she wanted to change the pace. No.
She was fired.
Let's call it what it is. I believe she's trying to just come in as smooth and easy, a nice calm transition. She don't want villagers panicking and trying to abandon ship, because the truth of the matter is it's two things that's gonna happen. She is brought in to sunset Xbox, and she's gonna do it in a very corporate-y, sleazy, slow method. And by the time people realize it, hey, it's already done. She is here to turn things around.
Supposedly.
But I'm going to say this. I'm going to explain why I'm saying it. Phil was at Xbox for a very long time, almost 40 years. He did a lot to course correct the ship from Xbox One generation. And from the Xbox One generation. And somewhere along the lines, either him and Sarah fucked up or he just fucked up. He just was like, hey, They don't care. Why should I care? I'm just trying to do whatever. Promises he made and how he drove and steered Xbox, Microsoft was just like, hey, bro, we let you spend a lot of money that you are not showing me on this. You're not showing me the proof in the pudding. Juice was worth the squeeze, however analogy you want to give it. And his attitude towards certain things, and I'll bring up key points just in case someone wants to challenge me in the comment. I think it was Redfall, and people were extremely disappointed in it. He went on an interview and said that there's no universe as Xbox put out a game that's an 11 out of 10 and people sell their PlayStations to buy Xboxes.
Oh, yeah, I
That's
remember
not
that.
going to happen. Continuously just admitted defeat to his competitor, his main competitor. And to the Xbox community, they did not like that because a lot of them are saying that's not true. If you do just make good games, that will happen. If you build it, they will come because that's what happened from PS2 to 360 and then 360 to PS4. The platform showed up and the consumers followed suit. But for whatever reason, he just did not go that route. And then you add on Sarah Bond and the news that we've gotten that the whole Xbox Play Anywhere initiative, whatnot, that supposedly that was her thing. I've heard some interviews and some people say that's not fully true, all of hers, but we're not going to get into that. You can't tell your consumer, I'm going to make said product. You can buy the product from me and play it on my other product, or you could buy it and play it on anywhere else. Okay, well, I'm just going to buy it and play it on anywhere else. I don't have to come to you to buy it. You're giving them the option to choose, and that's just not how this game is run. And I understand times are different, things are moving and shaking differently, but that's the basis on how all this started. Xbox became what it was because of a cutthroat attitude, exclusives, and pushing the envelope, the narrative. Xbox was just not happy performance across the board. They were constantly double digits in the negative for hardware, and we all know they're moving towards leaving hardware, etc. I'm gonna say that's not true. I'm gonna go on a quick rant real quick before I get to the other question. The hole that Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond has dug Xbox, I don't believe Xbox wants to be in that hole. I believe this Asha, I can't pronounce her last name, lady is here to not truly reverse everything that he did because there's some stuff they just really can't change, but to try to course correct and soften the blow as much as possible if she's not here to sunset. But things of the console not selling, the digital only, not pushing the physical games, that's a lot of money that's being left on the table that I believe she will try to turn around. She's either here to slowly sunset this or she's here to correct a lot of errors that Phil and Sarah are doing. And I'm going to predict this. Microsoft is probably you're going to start seeing them really probably push a narrative on the hardware more. You're going to start seeing their games come back in an actual physical because that's what Microsoft cares about. And apparently she was made CEO because of everywhere she came from, she made money. I'm gonna take and leave it there. So she's either gonna kill it or she will improve it. And by the time those improvements come, we will probably be in the next generation. You can't come in and be like, hey, Game Pass is gonna go back to $20. That ain't happening. As much as fans don't like Xbox games going on PlayStation, they make too much money. They're well too deep into that. They can't pull that back. They're too many years deep into Game Pass Ultimate Xbox games day and date release. They can't pull that back. That would really put a killing blow. There are too many major decisions that was done before she came in line that she just can't undo. But what she can do is make amenities. Ryan McCaffrey from IGN suggested the $15 tier. Make it to where the longer you subscribe to that tier, once a quarter you'll get a voucher for a free game. And there's no time limit on it. So let's say you hold the tier for all year, you'll have 4 vouchers at the end of the year. You can buy whatever game you want, whether it be $70, $80. Give back to the consumer is what they could probably try to do. I still stand on what I said before. I don't think she knows what the fuck she's talking. We'll see what she do. Only time will tell.
Yeah, so I have, and I'll keep this short. I have a completely different outlook about the CEO just because of all the reports that's coming out at the same time. Now, I will say sunset is a very strong word and is very generalized as the ending or the death. I think that Xbox is going to try to position themselves and probably, like I said, in a different view and they know that things and decisions that were made, and I'm not even saying it was all Phil Spencer or Sarah Bond's fault, because at the end of the day, Microsoft and Xbox are held responsible for these decisions that have been made and for how long they have been made and pushed out in the narrative. So let's not ever blame two individuals for a whole company's decision for almost a decade. All right. So let's not excuse that. Okay, Xbox is held very much responsible. Now, I'll probably put more responsibility on Xbox because, like you said, we've lived through the 360 days, and then the fuck up of Xbox One, and the continuous just damage of the reputation. So Xbox will never get a fucking pass. Now, second, the reason why I have a different opinion, the whole AI executive thing that was put out when the firing of Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond happens, that kind of gives me an indication that she is just a faceplate kind of. Xbox already know what they're about to do and how they're about to go about doing it. She is just here to try to like build a bridge. Like, hey, we know we fucked up for a while. You know, let this new face come in, say all the, like you said, buzzwords to get the people going and try to repair the reputation damage they've been having for like a decade plus. So I think Xbox already know what they're about to do for the next 10 years. And whether that's doubling down on Game Pass, I don't, like you said, they can't contractually, they can't get out of Game Pass because it's contractually and financial liability and just court liability. They cannot renege on the PlayStation cross-platform games that's already been announced, and probably others that's already been signed for that we don't even know about. So that's not going away. There's nothing else you can do about that. But I think Xbox is about to be in repair mode for the next 3 or 4 years, especially before the next generation comes. I think they want to self-repair as much damage and really lock in on who at the end of the day is costing us money and making us lose billions, or who is here making us money. So I Obsidian, like, that's why that topic is very much important, because Xbox, Microsoft, I said this, they are trying to get in the black. They're not going to continue to lose money as the financial struggles of the economy gets worse. It just doesn't make sense. So yeah, they're looking at the pocketbooks like, hey, you either make us money or you out the door. And that's why Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond ultimately had to get fired, because they cost the company billions of dollars, probably cold pick decisions, and they want to go in a new direction. They cannot do that with Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond being the face of their new directions. So I just think this CEO is kind of, and maybe she can prove me wrong. Listen, I am all for her coming in, doing exactly what she's saying, all this exclusive, and we're gonna look at the cross-platform initiative that we did, and blah blah blah. Hey, because a lot of people on Twitter was like, yeah, she really got the people going with all the shit she was saying. But I'm like, yo, listen, I know Xbox has fanboys that's diehard, but at the end of the day, let Xbox prove you right. Xbox for the last 10 years has proven everybody wrong in the expectations that people still held for them from the 360 days. Like every year it was just another disappointment. The Halo crossover to PlayStation was another disappointment. You know, Gears, all that. They have done nothing but disappointed their main audience and supporters. Like I said, I haven't cut my Xbox on Series X in probably since I really got it in that first 6 or 8 months. I haven't cut it on. So I really do hope this
Jesus.
CEO does give me a reason to cut on this expensive ass box. That's really nothing more than decoration, right? Me. I hope it proves all the fanboys, and I'm not even trying to be funny when I say fanboys, like the supporters of Xbox. I hope she does something real and that resonates with the fans and could get people that old feeling back. But I think she's more of a face piece. I think Xbox already said what they're going to do, and they probably was very upfront with her when she accepted the position. This is what we're going to do. Now, does that align with what she's been saying and preaching? And don't know. Only time can tell. But that's kind of how I feel about it. And we're going to get into, Sarah Bonds and Phil Spencer more in the topic. But, definitely let us know how you feel, what you think. Do you believe everything that she's been saying? Or do you feel like she's trying to paint a little dream-like fantasy world and really just pulling on your heartstrings that will get people talking about Xbox again? But let us know in the comments how you feel and what you think.
And that's it for this video of Are You Not Entertained podcast. Thanks for hanging out with us. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell so you'll never miss our next hot take. Until next time, are you not entertained?